This article called The More Than Skip Deep, Perception of and Stigma Against Tattoos, authored by Benjamin A. Martin and Chris S. Dula, was published in the College Student Journal in March 2010. Previous research indicates stigma can produce feeling of fear, isolation and discrimination, and that negative stigma has been and still is associated with tattooing. Due to the rise in tattoo popularity, a method to analyze stigma against tattooed individuals is needed. This study seeks to create an empirically sound, reliable and valid measure for the use in accurately assessing stigma against tattooed individuals. The Big Five personality characteristics opens to experience, consciousness, agreeableness, extravagance, and narcissism were assessed to determine their relation, if any, to tattooing stigma. Examination of the relationship of stigma to Big Five traits was exploratory. It was hypothesized that the measure will yield one dominant, interpretable factor, consistent with the idea that those with tattoos would be less stigmatizing toward. It was hypothesized those with tattoos would have significantly lower stigma scores compared to those without tattoos. This study was conducted with the college students. Participants consist of 210 undergraduates, 142 females and 68 males, and the ages range from 18 to 50. A total of 71 of the participants reported having at least one tattoo. The average age for obtaining the first tattoo was 19.52, ranging from age 13 to 29. The Martin Stigma Against Tattoos survey is a 17-item measure developed for this study to measure attitudes that one may have against tattooed persons by requesting participants to respond to face valid by statement about those with tattoos. Response choices were scored on a 6-point Likert scale, uncharged by strongly disagree and strongly agree. The Big Five personality traits were measured with the 60-item survey, which assessed openness to experience, consciousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and narcissism. The items were scored on a 5-point Likert scale, uncharged by strongly disagree and strongly agree. Results supported a single-factor solution, and the 17-item measure demonstrated a high level of internal consistency with Cronbach alpha 0.92 as predicted. Those with tattoos scored significantly lower than those without tattoos on the Martin Stigma Against Tattoo survey after accounting for significantly different variances between the groups. It means between tattooed and non-tattooed. Discussion. The Martin Stigma Against Tattoo survey was developed to assess a social stigma against tattoos. Although previous literature does not explicitly state a need for such a tool, the inability to adequately measure attitudes against tattoos provides enough reason. This study provides excellent evidence, a singular factor structure. Purity of the construct being measured and the face validity of the Martin Stigma Against Tattooing survey items notwithstanding. Additional evidence of quoted validity is found in the significantly lower scores of those who have tattoos compared to those who do not, as would be expected. The Martin Stigma Against Tattoo survey clearly demonstrates a wide array of attitudinal valence towards tattoos. It is curious that while the popularity of tattooing is increasing, that stereotypes about personal lives and traits of the tattooed persist. The Martin Stigma Against Tattoo survey will allow research to better understand misconception about the tattooed population, perhaps displaying one myth underlying stigma against the tattoo. No significant differences were found in the GPA of tattooed versus no tattooed college students. I didn't feel any shortcoming in this study. They give us all the details how exactly the experiment will done. There is a sentence which says, don't judge the book by its cover. It means in our field, organizational psychology, I know that I need to be aware when I interview people not to reject someone that have all the qualification for the job that I'm looking for just because he has tattoo. And instead of him, I prefer someone else that actually don't have all the qualification for the job, and eventually I accept him because one reason, he don't have any tattoo on his body. And in addition, it's also not professional way, of course. Shaya, I hope you enjoy from the presentation. Bye for now.